Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 with another tournament. These are always rather good fun. Today we have got a selection of drift cars, but we're not doing a drifting tournament. No, don't be silly. Why would you use a vehicle for what it was intended for? We are going to be doing a rally tournament with some drift cars. Now all the drift cars are completely stock, and they're going to be running down a sort of dirt gravel road. We've run this route a couple of times. It's a good fun little rally stage, this. 1v1 knockout tournament. There'll probably be the Mega Spanner final at the end, just for a laugh. For those that don't make it into the finals, we've got everybody doing glitchy wheels, because yes, there's lots of steering lock on these cars. We're going to get the first heat underway. We have the big Chevy Silverado up against a Mustang. Mustang look quick in testing. We will see how that is going to fare when we go for this one. They launch, they're off and underway. Fairly even start between the pair of them. Now no one is allowed traction control on this whatsoever, so they are all going to be, everyone's going to be struggling with putting the power down. Everyone's going to be struggling with steering a little bit. Mustang initially got beaten off the jump by the Silverado, however got a very good run towards the hairpin and has made it work around the outside here. Now, as far as power goes, I mean, these cars are running 800 to about 1,300 horsepower. Well, I think the Twerk Stallion might be the least powerful of the lot, but it's safe to say they're running a lot of power. There's a lot of power in cars not at all designed for a dirt road. It's a big slide from the Silverado. Now, you're likely to see a lot of understeer followed by a lot of oversteer. They're going to not get turned into a corner whatsoever because they're not set up to deal with this, and then the natural drift car instinct is going to kick in because, well, A, they're designed to drift, B, they've got a lot of power, they're rear-wheel drive and have the wrong tyres. Oh, the Silverado's got a lot of understeer in the background. The Chevy's really struggled to get turned in through there. The Mustang is around the next corner nicely. Now, we have got the bridge to worry about. Don't hit the bridge. Oh, the Mustang's hit the bridge, literally as I said it. It's always going to hit the bridge. I mean, the Mustang's got away with it by virtue of it actually had a pretty big lead, and the Silverado already got into trouble earlier in the run. That Silverado does not look fun to drive. It's just understeer, is ploughing its way out of these corners. And the Mustang is through the next toe. Got a couple more corners to go here as we now run up the hill towards. Now, the finish line is where this dirt road intersects with a tarmac road. Mustang's got a big slide going on through here. You've got a big run up the hill here. Test the speed, the power of these vehicles. The final corner. Now, in some cars, sometimes we run this tournament, this final corner's flat out. In these, it will not be. They do not have the grip. They do not have the turn. In a jump for the Mustang, it's off across the line. The Ford is through to the next round. And the Silverado is a bit of an understeery boat. This one has had a tough time. Big jump for the Chevy. That is across the line as well. Unfortunately, Silverado is out of the running. It'll go into the Mega Spanner final, but it will not progress through this first round. The Mustang, I mean, looked quick. It hit the wall, but otherwise looked very, very quick indeed. On to our second heat, and we have got the Corvette versus the Twerk Stallion. Now, also in testing, we saw the Corvette looked bloody quick. So the Corvette is definitely one to watch out. The Twerk Stallion is a bit of an unknown quantity in this one. It shall be interesting to see what is going to go well down this course. We will get them on the ready command. Is anybody going to forget about the ready command and just launch from the off? Who knows? It is fairly even from the pair of them off of the line. Now, as I said, the Twerk Stallion is the least powerful car here. Might mean it can use its power a little bit better than you see the Corvette's already struggling for traction through there. Is the Mazda going to try and duck underneath? It is. It's not quite got the run through there that it would need to make a pass stick. It's chasing down that Corvette. I mean, you want to avoid that puddle if you can. I mean, these cars are not going to enjoy that sort of a section. As much power as there are in these machines, they are struggling to make the most of it as we head around this next corner. No real big slides. There's a little bit of a slide from the Corvette through there. Twerk Stallion is right behind. It's not as big a lead as we saw from that Mustang in the previous round. All the Corvette's gone very deep. The Mazda's gone even more off the zone. Both run very, very wide through that section. You've got to be slower on the way in because the front of the cars just do not want to get turned, not in a conventional manner. The Mazda's being a lot less oversteery through here. The Mazda's wasting a lot less time sliding around, but isn't quite there to look for a way past. We're coming up towards the bridge now Got to make sure, got to be super precise with this one. Got to make sure you get it on the bridge cleanly. You can make up some time across there if you're brave and you get it accurate. Oh, the Corvette's really struggling on the exit up this hill. Here comes the Mazda. The Mazda's got a wonderful run. The Corvette's got no speed climbing up that hill. It just couldn't put the power down. It just slid and wasted all of its time going sideways. The Mazda has got the lead of this race. The Twerk Stallion. There is, though, a big hill coming up, and if the Corvette does get the power down, it's, well, just a lot more of the power, may well do it some good here as we head up towards these final couple of corners. It is going to be, the Corvette's closing a little bit, got a big bounce through there that's a bit awkward. It's going to be the Twerk Stallion that jumps and will cross the line and take victory. The Corvette is across and goes for a spin and tumbles a little bit down the hill. Now, that's not what I was expecting to see. That's not what I was expecting to see. The Corvette had it for a little while, but just a mistake coming out of a corner, just too much wheel spin, wiggling around, and the Mazda got it right. Twerk Stallion, that is through to the next round. Our next heat, we have got a Viper versus one of the Silvias. There are two different types of Silvia in this in this round. This is the more normal-looking S14. I don't know my Silvias, but it's got a big supercharger sticking out the bonnet. We're ready to go with this. Not sure what we're going to see out of these two. Particularly, the Viper is the most powerful car here in the field at nearly 1,400 horsepower. That is a lot of power to be putting down on to the gravel. It's an even start between the pair of them. It's a big slide from the Silvia always into the door of the Viper. The Viper is very sideways. The Silvia has got past. Ignore the random going across the field. It would be in ghost mode, so it wouldn't be able to impact what's going on. Huge slides from the pair of them, a lot more sideways from these two as they're trying to put the power down. The Viper's got a good run coming down the hill, but it's a long way around the hairpin. Silvia does go for a dive through the puddle. It's cut back from the dodge, although it's got way too much. It almost worked. If they'd got if they got it pointed the right direction, that could have possibly worked, but you've got massive sliding from the Viper, who wasn't able to make the most of that opportunity. Silvia is very sideways through all of that as well. As you go over the crest here, the Viper's incredibly sideways in this one. Oh, it's not going to make the corner. The Dodge is in trouble. The Dodge is a long way out of the circuit as the Nissan slides its way through this next corner. So can the Dodge catch back up? It's a tall order. This is not the longest of rally routes. If you make a mistake, it's difficult to recover, unless of course there may be mistakes. The bridge is coming up that we've got to try to avoid. The Silvia is struggling a little bit through here. Will it get into trouble on the bridge? No. Nicely done. And when you've got this bigger a lead, it is worth playing it safe. The Viper did not play it safe and just threw it at the bridge by the looks of it, although it's out wide through this next car. The Viper's given it everything, trying. I mean, that's what you've got to do. If you've fallen back here, you might as well just go for it. If you spin, you crash, well, at least you gave it everything. When you're the leader, you've got to try and not make any silly mistakes around the course. Oh, as I said, the Viper's got to give it everything, and the Viper hands very nearly spun. It just about kept it pointing in the right direction. The Silvia's just got to keep composed. There's two more corners to go. Well, now one more corner to go. One hill and a corner for the Silvia, and that'll be it through to the next round. As nicely does it again. No need to take crazy risks at this point. Just get it around the final corner. Jump for the Silvia. It will be the Nissan. It got a bit wrong, but it's across the finish line to take victory. The Nissan is through. The Viper. It was spectacular visually on that one. Very sideways from the pair of them. The Viper got a little bit of trouble and just couldn't make up the time, having slightly missed that fast chicane. That will put the Nissan through to the next round. For our next heat, we have got the second of the Vipers lined up, and we have got the new car, the Nissan, the 370Z, is here. I think it was last week this car was available. Last week at the time of filming this was available. The Viper we know is very powerful. We saw it struggle in the previous round. We'll see if this time out can get a little bit less sideways. Basically, you don't want to be going sideways in this because you waste a lot of time. Who knows what's going to happen with this, if I'm honest. We will get them ready, and we will send them on their way. It's a good start from the Nissan. It's kind of neck and neck. It's going to just pull ahead of the Viper, and the Nissan is going to lead through the first corner. The Viper's trying to get itself. It really tried to hold it around the outside to get the inside for the hairpin. Viper's out very wide. He's going to look for a cutback on the exit, and it gets alongside, but again, that's just sheer power of the Viper. It's got a good run down here. It's still on the wrong side, though, of the Nissan. You're not going to, well, I say you're not going to. It'd be very difficult to get all the way around the outside of something at one of these hairpins. Next turn, still the Viper is looking. It's looking. It puts its nose up the inside, but it takes just, if you take a really tight line through there, you're going to struggle to get much speed on the exit. As we see here, the Nissan is pulling away. The Nissan's a lot more composed in these faster sections. That Viper, just I think the sheer amount of power going on in that Viper makes it difficult to manage. There's some drifting from the pair of them through here. That's a nasty corner for them. We're kind of getting understeer, again almost oversteer while understeering our way around that corner. We've seen from a few vehicles. The Viper's sort of brought it back a little bit, although big slides towards the wall is not what it wanted. Onto the bridge we go. The Nissan bumps a wheel on the exit. Oh, the Viper hit the inside. That might be the end for the Viper, unless there is any problems now for the Nissan. It just clipped the splitter on the edge of the bridge. It is not what you want to be doing through there. The Nissan is going to climb up the hill. We've only got a couple more corners now. Thankfully for the Nissan, relatively straightforward corners, as long as nothing goes horrifically wrong. We've got the climb up the hill. The Viper's a little too far back. All it took was a little brush on that bridge. I think the Viper was, well, as I said before, when you're in second, you've just got to go for it. You've got to throw caution to the wind a little bit. Unfortunately, though, if you do clip the bridge, you're going to be in trouble. That's the Nissan through to the next round. Sadly, the second of the Vipers is out as well as it comes across the finish. It was close. It was a hard fought-for battle, that one. It was a hard fought-for battle, but in the end, not quite enough. That will be the 370 through. Up next, we have got a Ute. It's always good to have a Ute in general. We have got the Maloo. We have got the other of the Silvias, the Silvia with the different front end. Still not sold on that kit, but there we go. Regardless, they are ready to go. I love the Ute. It's normally one of the more difficult of the drift cars to do this sort of thing with, but I've not done this for a very long time, and this is a different road to the road I've driven the things down last time. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see how the Ute might fare down this one. It's a good start from the Ute. The Silvia's just got a much better sort of secondary phase of that launch, although it's very sideways on the exit of that corner. The Ute's being held out wide a little bit. Absolutely fair from the Silvia in that one. It does look like the Ute is going for a much more cautious approach, putting the power down. The Silvia is just going for it and wiggling all over the road, but still is able to get to the inside. The Ute's trying to cut back underneath. There's not quite the space for that there. The next heaven, now the Ute's fallen a little bit further back on this one. Silvia plows itself quite wide through there. Is the Maloo going to get a good run on the exit? It's fighting for control a little bit down there, but the Silvia leads across the crest we go. That's caught out a few vehicles. The Ute's carried a lot of speed on the way in here. Can it get that slowed down for the next corner, or is it just going to go very sideways into the next corner? It does. Very sideways for the Maloo. That might have been slightly too much for that car. It's really now struggling. It's like, if you keep it all together, it's fine, but as soon as you step over that mark, as soon as it starts, as soon as the back end lets go, you're just in a world of trouble, although the Silvia's now in the bridge. Oh, a little bit of lag, I think. It bumped it. It definitely bumped it. It had to slow down a lot. It had to really check up to make sure it got onto the bridge through there. The Maloo's closed back in a smidge. There's not that many corners left to go, though. Not, well, you'd have to be monumentally quick to be able to catch and pass without there being any mistakes. I mean, now that the Maloo, you can see the Maloo has abandoned the careful approach, is now just going for it. I don't know which is quicker, to be honest, when it comes to running up here. The Silvia, I mean, of course they're going to be still fighting. They're still going to be sliding around as we run up the hill towards the final corner. Silvia will get it stopped a little bit, get it turned in. Just got to run towards the finish line now, and indeed it does. Big jump for the Nissan. We have another Nissan through to the next round. The Maloo, oh, there's spun. Just turn around and see Maloo backwards in a wall. Well, it was a good effort. It was a good effort. Still technically not finished. Come on, and there we go. It's a shame to see the Ute out. I do like the Utes. However, yeah, it was there. It was there. It just made one mistake through that far chicane that's been catching people out, and that is all it took. Well, for the final heat, I am going to be on the grid here. I'm representing the Ferrari because I wanted to, because it's cool. We've got the most out-of-place drift car in the world, but it is equally rather brilliant. Up against the BMW. I think the Ferrari is pretty good. It is technically speaking the highest PI car in the field. We are off and underway. It was a good jump initially from the BMW, but it doesn't match the secondary part of the launch for the Ferrari. We're up through the gears. Now, some people are preferring to go, oh, BMW's taking a really, really big dive to the inside, but just can't get it stopped in time for the hairpin, a big slide from the M3. Yeah, some people are liking to go for the run really high gears and not really have to worry so much about throttle control. I personally prefer to do lower gears and deal with a bit of wheel spin, which I know is a little bit unlike me, but still, that does tend to be the way I'm going to drive the vehicles. We are out of the hairpin quite nicely there. This is the corner that's caught a few people out so far. What is the Ferrari like through here? Pretty good. Don't overdrive it. I mean, we've got a little bit of a lead. I can kind of experiment. Don't do too much, though. Don't knock yourself out in the first round like a moron by experimenting to see what the car can do. Focus on winning, well, what you've got to. We're going to throw it into the next corner. The BMW is struggling a little bit on this course. The bridge, well, that can get anybody into trouble pretty much. We bump it with the rear of the car. That's fine. It's bumping it with the front of the car that's the big problem. Here, up the hill, well, one of the hills we go, try and find some traction in this Ferrari. Let's get it into the next corner. I'm just looking at the map, brief glances at the map to see where the BMW is. There's no real threat in this one. Yeah, the M3 just does not quite have the speed when it comes to this. Oh, a little bit too much on the inside. Through there. Oh, gonna get kicker sideways on the exit. Up the hill we run. Now everything's been braking for this corner up here. How fast dare we go through here? We can carry some good speed in the 599. Oh, cross that nasty bump, and it is over the finish line for the Italian machine. We are through to the next round. Whew. BMW did seem to struggle quite a bit on that course. It got kind of fought a little bit at the start, but it was not quite enough in the end for the M3. I'm feeling quite good. I'm feeling quite good about the Ferrari. Who knows what we're going to come up against next? But yeah, it's good to drive. It's good to drive up here, and we are at least into the semi-finals. We are on to the semi-finals now, and there are only two non-Japanese cars in this one. First up, well, there's going to be definitely one Japanese car in the final, as we have the Twerk Stallion going up against the 370Z. The Mazda got a little bit of a surprise victory. The Nissan is looking quite strong in this one. I mean, if you got to this round, you know, they're going to be looking quite quick. Let us face it. We shall get everybody ready on the grid. The Mazda doing some warm-ups of the tyres. We will launch them. Might be a little bit of lag as well, to be honest. We'll launch them. We will send them on their ways. An even start initially, then the 370 just gets a little bit better run towards this first corner. Now, we saw, I mean, the Twerk Stallion followed the Corvette for a lot of it and then just pounced on one little mistake. It may see a similar thing here. The 370Z got a little bit wide on the exit of that corner. The Mazda's still there looking for a way it can get a pass done. It's going to follow the Nissan all the way through. There's a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a nudge through them. I mean, they're not going particularly fast for what are incredibly powerful cars. They're not actually going all that quickly down this particular road. The Twerk Stallion is trying to get underneath that Nissan, but it can't quite make it stick. And the problem for the Mazda is it's just not got the top-end speed of anybody else. Now, admittedly, this isn't exactly a high-speed run here, but down some of the straights and up some of the hills, perhaps, is where the Twerk Stallion is going to come undone. This is actually, I think, the Corvette got into trouble on. The Nissan bounces itself quite wide, but does keep it all together through there. The Twerk Stallion's again having a look. It's trying to get to the inside. As soon as it does, the Nissan just pulls away on the next acceleration zone. Onto the bridge they both go. Nobody bumps any of the barriers. The Twerk Stallion dives to the inside, takes a very, very tight line. Gets a little bit crossed up on the exit, and then Nissan has got the run up the hill there and will retake the lead of the race. Everything's spitting lots of fire. The Mazda's sliding around a little bit more as they try to find a way to maybe get an overtake done. There's only a couple more quarters to go, though. We've got the hill where we know the Twerk Stallion is probably going to struggle a smidge in all of this. That being said, it's got a really good run this time out. Up towards the final quarter we go. If the Nissan doesn't make a mistake, it's going to be difficult for the Mazda to do very much through it. Mazda's carried a lot of speed through that corner. It's a good run for the Mazda. There's a wheelie across the bump there, but it's not enough. The Nissan is through. Fantastic battle. Fantastic race between the pair of them there. The Mazda, it has the handling. It can carry the corner speed that the Nissan simply couldn't. However, in the end, it just couldn't find a way past. That will put the 370Z into the final. For the second of the semi-finals, we have had a livery change on the Mustang. It's now very, very pink, and we have the Silvia lining up on the start line. I'm concerned about the Mustang overall in this field. I will be honest. I am concerned about that Mustang. It looks mighty quick, Who knows, though, with these sort of rallies, it is... one mistake can easily put you out of the race. So we shall see what happens on this one. Good launch from the Ford there. It actually is going to take the lead into turn 1. This one tries to do something. It's very sideways. Very, very sideways for the Nissan. It's all a little bit crossed up through there. Always kind of understeers. It's, again, we see this understeering while oversteering into some of these corners is... interesting, certainly entertaining to watch for some of the vehicles. Difficult to drive these sort of cars in these conditions. The Mustang is, I think, trying very hard to not spin the wheels, is not to get the car sideways. The Nissan is going for the much more almost chuck it about approach and see what happens here. It is definitely working for the Mustang. The Nissan is through the grass out wide there. Through this next section, are we going to see any adventures? No, quite well behaved from both of them. A little bit of clip on the fence. That's okay. That's fair enough. That's one of those things that can and might well happen along this course. We're down towards this. You kind of got these like nasty sort of downhill hairpins, braking zones. You've got to make sure you get absolutely everything right. Onto the bridge we go with the Mustang. No problems at all this time around. Almost got the fence on the inside. Here comes the Silvia carrying a lot of speed, but the like if you run wide there, with the way that also like the curbing, the railing is, just lifts the back of the car up. Not conducive to a good run, generally speaking. You'll get away with it, it's just a light tap though. It'll lose you a little bit of time. It kind of straightens up the car that you're kind of trying to turn across the bridge, but doesn't lose you too much in the way of time. Mustang's a little bit understeery through that next corner as we run up the hill, but it does look like the Mustang is going to have had a relatively straightforward time in this one. One more corner to go with the Ford, and it will be across the line, and the Mustang is going to make it in to the final. There it is, across the line for the Ford with a celebratory ding, and there is a very, very sideways Nissan. It's not quite much like the Maloo we saw. It's just went for it. Still not finished. Come on, still not finished. Still not actually crossed the finish line. There we go. The Silvia is out. It put up a good fight. It just wasn't really a match for the Mustang in the end. That Ford is scary. That Ford is scary. Well, it is time for the last of the semi-finals. My Ferrari is going up against the second of the Silvias. I'm hopeful. I feel like the Ferrari is quick here. I feel like the Ferrari stands a pretty good chance. We've got the inside. If we can get it off the line nice and cleanly, we are off and underway. It's a great start from the Ferrari here as we barrel down towards the first corner. I mean, it's not one on the start, but yeah, it's always helpful when you can blast away. Into the hairpin we go. Minimal amounts of sliding if we can help it. Let's put that power down nicely. The Silvia looked like it was very sideways behind me. We're going to avoid the water. It's almost like we kind of I chuck the car in, just give it a little bit of a blip on the throttle, just to try and stop the understeer, and then immediately have to stop the oversteer. It's a weird way of driving these vehicles down here. Who would have thought? Drift cars on gravel, not very conventional. You know, a little bit outside their comfort zones. The Ferrari seems good through that chicane. It's very difficult to judge quite what's quick when it comes to this sort of a course, but the Ferrari does feel good through the chicane. It's certainly not having to have as big of a brake or a lift as some of the other cars around here. We're again building that gap back to the Silvia. Just don't do anything stupid if we can help it. Up towards the bridge we go. Now, I'm probably not going to be going too crazy. There's almost no reason to throw the car too fast across the bridge. The Silvia has come into a little bit of trouble somewhere. It has dropped back in all of this. We'll fly up towards the next corner. I mean, I'm liking the Ferrari. I can't really fault it as far as drift cars go. Lado is... Sheet! I feel like there might be a disqualification going on there for cutting half the course. I don't know whether they hit the bridge or quite what it was, but... I think there is going to be a disqualification for the Silvia. I mean, it didn't actually interfere with the race. We will slide across the finish line. There's no need to worry about being careful there anymore. A big disqualification. The Silvia did... Oh, it's finished backwards as well. The Silvia did not have... It kind of kept with it for a little while and then just gradually slipped back. I think there may have been a mistake, either a half spin or something along the way, because it suddenly dropped back a fair way. This Ferrari is looking good. I'm worried about the Mustang. I don't really know. The 370Zs look quick as well. So I think this is going to be a hell of an interesting final. I'm hoping the Ferrari might just have enough speed to do it. So here we are to the final. We have got, well, the two non-Italian cars actually made it into the non-Italian, non-Japanese cars made it into the final. So we have one Italian car, one American car, and one of the Japanese cars in this one. I'm scared of the Mustang, I have to say. However, I don't really know. I don't know the speed of the 370. It's a really good launch from the 370. A terrible start from the Ford. May have been in too high a gear or something, trying to get off the line and minimise wheel spin and just misjudged it. We're to the outside at the first hairpin. Can we make this work all the way around the outside? We can. We get a really, really good run on the exit. That will do nicely for the Ferrari. Down towards the next hairpin we go. Don't run in too deep through there. It's a little bit wide on the exit, but we get that much better line. So if you take that really, sort of dive that really tight line like the Nissan did, you just don't get any speed on the exit. Now, if me and the Nissan fight too much, that could be an opportunity for the Mustang to rejoin the party. We get a bit of a slide across the crest. I've got trouble, big trouble for the Ferrari, massive trouble for the Ferrari. I can't get it back on the course at the moment. It just bobbled around awkwardly. I'm in a lot of trouble here. Can we reel back in the Mustang from that mistake? I don't know. We've thrown it in a little bit too deep through this next corner. I don't know if I want fourth or third through there. What can I do about the Ford here? The Ford has recovered really well from a terrible start. We ran the car along the railing. I'm not sure we've got enough time to do anything here, unless we can have some sort of miracle. I don't know what we're going to get. We're going to just chuck the Ferrari at the course, throw caution to the wind, don't care about a second place. We want the victory, but it's not going to be enough time to do anything about the Mustang. The Nissan is a little too far back to challenge me for position. The Nissan's closer to me than I am to the Ford. The Ford is just so much better at this second half of the course. We threw it away. We absolutely threw that one away, sadly. With a mistake. I think the Ford would have been giving us all sorts of grief regardless. It's going to be a victory for the Mustang. Second place for the Ferrari in that one. I think the Ford is just better at that second half of the course, considering how bad a start that Mustang had and how much it caught up. That's an impression. I was worried about the Mustang, and sure enough, that was a very quick car. Slightly annoyed at myself for that one. Shouldn't have put myself in that position. We've been so quick through that section all the previous runs, but on the final, just misjudged it. Just ended up in trouble. That is the way it goes sometimes, sadly. Well, it's a second place for the Ferrari. The Mustang doing some celebratory donuts over there. Before we end our time here on the dirt rally stage with the drifty cars, we have time for the Mega Spanner Final. So, for the Mega Spanner Final, we have got everybody that didn't make it to the final, basically, are here ready. So we've got the Ute, we've got the M3, the Silverado. Watch out for the Corvette, that's expected to be very, very quick. The Twerk Stallion also has been fast so far. The Vipers are here, the two Silvias are in this as well. Let's send them on their way. It is going to be mayhem. It is going to be complete and utter mayhem, this one. That is what we are expecting. We will launch the cars. All of them blast their way towards the first corner. The Corvette is looking to try and get an early lead through all of this. There's banging of doors between the Twerk Stallion and the Viper. Sylvia's a little bit out of shape. Orange Viper's very, very, very wide through there. Silverado is at the back, but will pick up a place off of the Viper. It's Corvette versus Viper up at the front. Twerk Stallion's battling away with the Sylvia down towards probably the tightest of the hairpins. The Ute's trying to get to the inside, doesn't quite make it work. The Nissan's almost found a tree in all of that. Corvette continues to lead the way over here as we head around this next corner. Corvette leads from Viper. Twerk Stallion's had a good run up into third. Then we have Sylvia. Ute is very sideways. Silverado's made up some positions as the Sylvia and BMW are battling side by side. The Orange Viper is down at the back. Any issues up here? Nope, they've all made it through cleanly. There's a change for the lead almost going on while we were looking at further down. Not quite. The Viper got to the door but didn't quite make it stick through there. Corvette continued to lead the way. Now these three have got a bit of a breakaway going on. These three lead the got an understeery Sylvia and a wool gathering Maloo. A lot of understeer going on for the cars over there. Up at the front, it's still the same three in the same order and just about the same distance. The Sylvia's got very, very lost. Corvette perhaps now starting to extend that lead a little bit over the Viper. I mean, the Twerk Stallion is probably the best car here technically in the corners. It's just not got the power of the rest when it comes to the hills. The Sylvia is still understeering a million miles wide of every corner in the background. That has explored the outer limits of the circuit quite a lot as we come up over the crest following the Corvette. One more turn for that car, and it is well clear now of the Viper. It's going to be victory in the Spanner final to the Corvette. It takes a victory. Viper will claim second ahead of the Twerk Stallion. Massive understeer from the M3 that's completely missed the corner. I mean, it's across the line somehow. The Silverado crosses ahead of the Maloo, and then we have a very sideways Viper, and we have, almost a bit of a jump drift going on for the Silvia. That is across the line at the back of the field. That was a good Mega Spanner final, I have to say. That was a good Mega Spanner final. Great fight between the Corvette and the Viper. In the end, the Corvette just a little bit too fast. Quite a lot of mayhem went on. That's kind of what we expected, really, from this. Well, that is going to be it for this video. Had a lot of fun racing these cars out here. That Mustang is bloody fast. I was proud of the Ferrari, though. The Ferrari was good. I let it down a little bit, but yeah, the Ferrari was good fun to race down here. That is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.